Good evening. 53 people online already. It's fantastic to see. Right, let me just get to the comments first of all. Do this, get to the comments. There are loads of comments already. Evening, something today. Evening, Craig. How you doing? We played them as a number for you. Hammer. Tony, good evening. Let's get some of the good evenings. And first, Tamak. Come on, the hoops, says Tam. Craig says Kieran needs surgery for his shoulder. Apparently, yes. Just checking the sound also. The sound should be okay, but just give me a big thumbs up. Tell me how the sound is, because I had to muck about with it this afternoon. Aussie Online is there. You boy, let me get some more comments. There's 130 odd online now. Fantastic. Right, if you're on your phone or maybe on your laptop, I'm not sure about the phone, but there is a poll. Probably if you're on your laptop, I'm not sure if it's on the phone, but there's a poll on the laptop. Just quiet that. And I basically said, are you happy with the transfer window so far? It's had 95 votes and 58% are saying yes, they're happy with the transfer window so far. And 42% are saying no. It's on the phone too. That's good. It's perfect. Cheers, troops. Right. There's a couple of things I want to talk about this evening. And one of them, let me just go back onto StreamYard because then it gives me a live time rather than delayed. Right. That's better. Right. There's a couple of things I want to go through. There's 10 players at Celtic that didn't go to Japan. And one of them has already refused to be sold off. No, not to be sold off, to not be paid off and let go. He wants to see it the remaining years of his contract. And then I want to talk about Kenny Dalglish, because Kenny Dalglish has obviously been talking also. And when Kenny Dalglish talks, you kind of know that people in higher places are talking about things, because he doesn't just make things up. He suggested that there's going to be 2 top signings for Celtic before the end of the window. But before we get into that, we'll get back into all the comments. Jesus, loads of comments. There's 210 people online. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. Right, let's get to some of the comments. Paul Baird, regular one. Hi, Paul. Good evening. Something today. Thumbs up. Hail. Love it. Audio's 10 out of 10. All good. Perfect. Tate would be a good signing yet, but I can't see that happening. I'm not sure. Sounds all good. Aussie Online. Paul on the phone. It's on the phone as well. Perfect. Arsenal fans and meltdown. KT not getting a game. Yeah, I seen that. He didn't get a game the other night. I did last night against Man United. What was the final score? Because it was about a 10 o'clock kickoff here. I seen that one Man United channel. That does fantastic. The United Stand, I think it is. Paul signed early. I voted. I said no because it's the truth. Interesting. Interesting. I think when you think about the players that were brought in and we think about to previous seasons, and the Doug's going to go mental as she does. She always knows when I'm doing a live. She likes going nuts. I think when these guys come in from South Korea, if they're of the same standard as Kyogo and Dyson, and if they're of that standard, I think they'll be okay. But there's a lot of people not impressed with the fact they've not went out and spent funny money, we'll say. But we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. There is still about 5 weeks left of the transfer window. Rambo says, all right, fellow Tims. What about a Jetty? Yes, I'm going to get onto that in a minute. I'm going to talk about 10 players that did not go to Japan, but they're still at Celtic and they should be out the door. And one of them was a keeper. Keeper Scott Bain's getting his pension and never leaving. Well, he's right. Let's just get into the 10 players. I'll talk about the 10 players first of all that weren't there and what is happening with them, and then we'll find out and see what everyone thinks. So the first one, obviously, is Alistair Johnson. Alistair Johnson wasn't there, but we all know that he's injured. Okay, the next one was Scott Bain. Scott Bain went to Japan as part of the squad, but he didn't play a single minute. He didn't play a single game. So what's his position at Celtic? Cameron Carter-Vickers, we know, was left back at Lennoxtown. He's back in training. Right, here's an interesting one. Ozzy Odegaard. What is the story with him? He's 23-year-old. He arrived from Sheffield Wednesday, but he's obviously not going to make it at Celtic. He wasn't even trained. Tony Ralston had an injury also, and he's also back in training. Another one, Sorrow. Remember him? Sorrow's still on the books at Celtic, and it's unbelievable. I'm trying to go through these comments. It's unbelievable that Sorrow is still there and on the books, and we need to get rid of him. 25-year-old, he's basically been a forgotten man. The big one for me is James McCarthy. James McCarthy, he would be better leaving Celtic. A 32-year-old, he's not going to get a game. I don't think. He came to Celtic far too late. We should have got him the first time round when he was a good player. And then we got into the big bad subject of Albion Ajeti. Yes, Albion Ajeti has refused to be paid off by Celtic. And it says a lot about the Celtic. I said this morning, when you look at the Barkas situation, the Barkas could have sat on his boots and not done anything. And he would have been well entitled to. But Barkas took the payoff from Celtic to be able to go and play football. And I understand there's a couple of posts that I've seen today that he's actually on the cusp of signing for another team. So, Ajay, what is he playing at? He's never going to get a game. He's not going to get near the squad. And I just think he needs to go. And one that's unlucky and one that splits opinion within the fan base is the one and only Mikey Johnson. Mikey Johnson, he came back and I think he was looking forward. I think we've seen a picture of him coming off the team bus, and then it all went downhill for there. He got injured with playing with Ireland, and then it's just went downhill for him again. He's out for another 3 months. So when you think of that timeline, 3 months from now, you're sort of at the end of October, November, the squad's firing on all cylinders by then. They're looking at the December run of games, and is Mikey Johnson going to break into that? He's then got to get fit. He's got to get match fit. It's just, and you can say, yeah, maybe he might get a game the second half of the season, but for getting a new contract, I think it's sugary peg time for Mikey Johnson, I think. So let's try and catch up with the comments. When we analyse the squad, we're not in bad shape at all. No, we're not, Tony. And I think the fact that we're not in bad, I know you're probably way ahead of me with the new comments, but I'm trying to catch up as soon as I can. Tony, I think the squad's in great shape. You've got to remember last year we won the league easily, right? We'll say it that way. Ange Postecoglou changed the team completely when the last 4 games, and he was trying out the squad. I think he was maybe letting the management know, letting the board know that these players that we've got in the background aren't good enough. And Jet is that's a comment of the day, Sean. Afternoon, it's early evening, fellow Tims to United. What is the point in Bain getting a new deal when Siegrist is nowhere to be seen? Well, the thing is Bain never played a single minute in Japan. So he's basically went for a free-for-all. And that whole situation is just absolutely absurd. It is absolutely absurd. Let's get some more comments. I don't think Tate is anything special. He was a flop last time he played with Rodgers. He didn't do anything at all. Let's see what Ozzy has to say. Just flew my drone over the Erskine Bridge. God, that's a blast for the past, the Erskine Bridge. I still can't see the Sevco coming. Oh, jeez. Right. I'm not even going to talk about them. Rangers fan were in City Centre meltdown an hour ago. What were they meltdown for? Were they playing today? Anyway, Sevco are celebrating failure now. Yeah, they are celebrating failure. Stephen Kelly was way too much crying about the spending big. When we do it didn't work out. You've got a point there, Stephen. When we have spent, there's £10 million worth of players just walking out the door for nothing. And I think a club at Celtic's size and in the league we're in, that cannot be allowed to happen again. I know the club is in a great financial state at the moment. I know that we've got money in the bank. I know that we've just banked 25 million cash for the Jota deal. I think we are in a good shape, but you can't be bringing in players like that don't work out altogether. And I think that's been a big mistake over the last couple of years. Right, there is 364 people online. Get the thumbs up because there is only about 17 thumbs up that I'm seeing just now. So make sure you hit the thumbs up. And then, so if you've missed the first part of the live, we talked about some players that were at Celtic and Sevco having big ears. Right, let's catch up with the comments. And John Burns says, hail. Let's just go right down. I'm sorry if I've missed out your comments. By Casper Schmeichel now. That's an interesting one. Going got to remember he was at Leicester and Leicester let him go. Is he that good? If Rodgers turns it around, he'll get a statue. If he turns around and gets him at the door, he'll get a statue. Never mind anything else. Good evening, Helen. How are you? And Maida can fill Kyogo's shoes. Yeah, that was the big news this morning. Obviously, well, it came out last night that Kyogo will probably need a little bit keel surgery. And my point this morning was: is it a worry if you lose Kyogo during the season? Remember, we lost him the first season, and we had an adequate striker that came in and played quite well the second half of that season. We did lose Kyogo for half the season at Christmas before. I don't want that to happen again. And I think that's why the headline this morning, is it a worry? Is it a worry that he's not had the operation? Is it a worry that, that the way that some of the teams play against him, there's a lot of people pushing him off the ball last season, shoulder charging them, and that could cause that to flare up. And if it does cause it to flare up, I don't want to lose Kyogo at the most important time of the season. And let's face it, between August and Christmas is the most important time of the season for Celtic with regards to playing well in the Champions League. The cup and everything, the Scottish Cup and the League Cup and everything will take care of themselves. The league is just ongoing business, but we want to make sure that we're at our best at that point. And I think keeping Kyogo as fit as we can is a must. And I think that was the whole thing this morning about, is it a worry that the fact that he didn't get this surgery, should have maybe got it sooner, was my point. Tamak says Rodgers will be happy with the Celtic team. He's loving it. And Stuart, he says, afternoon, Baz, hope you're well, Paul. Yes, I am. We're all fine. And it's actually a bit cloudy here. Somebody was asking earlier about the heat wave in Spain. Well, there was a heat wave last week. It got to a high temperature during the week for one day, and then it's cooled down again. Amazing. 2 days, I was told. 2 days. There. Right. How does the squad limit work with 25 players? I'm not sure about that. I think it's more the fact that in Europe now, you have to have a certain quota of Scottish, well, not so Scottish born players, but players that have been through the youth system as well. I think it works out. It's weird the way that they're working out. The Huns like Kent walk for 20 million. Come on, they never bought him for 20 million. And Fat Boy, they never bought the two of them. They spent a lot of money on Kent. That's a nightmare for it. But who cares about them? Anyway, there'll be a lot of them. There was a lot of them trying to spam the channel this morning. Let's get some more. Right, let's get to the Kenny Dalglish thing. We're 13 minutes in. No, we'll not get to the Kenny Dalglish thing yet. Do you think Brendan will sign another striker? Says Ewan Boy. I asked that this morning in the video, and I think I would hope that we would bring someone in. But when you look that we've got O in place just now. We've got Maida, who is the answer. But then there's a comment just came up and says that he's not the answer. Where is that comment? Maida is not the answer as a striker, but he played up front for us before. It didn't work. 3 goals in a friendly isn't enough. O isn't proven enough. Right, Eddie, the fact that Kyogo is kept at the Japanese team because they play Maida up front says that the Japanese they must know something about their players. They took Maida to the World Cup. They didn't take Kyogo to the World Cup because they play Maida as a striker for the national team. So do we need another striker to come in? Yes, I would probably like to get another striker to come in, but it's then where do you then facilitate another striker to come in? How long will be Kyogo? I have no idea. We're not sure. It seems to be some kind of dislocation problem that he has with his shoulder. He keeps on dislocating it. So I'm not sure how that works out, Joseph. So Joe Curran says we should throw money at the transfer. We are way ahead of them. Yes, it's not so much throwing money at the transfer window. I think a lot of us that are Celtic fans from years and years ago, and especially the 90s, when if you remember, even Tony Cascarino, we spent £1 million on Tony Cascarino and he was a complete flop at Celtic. So spending big doesn't always work, and I think we do have a model that works at Celtic. But yes, we need to buy in a couple of players. Now, we will talk about this in probably the next 20 minutes or so, about what Kenny Dalglish was saying about a couple of players coming in. You think Rodgers, let's see that. I think Rodgers will see who leaves before buying again. Says Tim, I think he already knows who's going to leave the club. I think he's spoken to players. That's why they were left back in Scotland. They didn't go to Japan. We're all second guessing. There's a lot of silence going around the club just now, which is good. There's not a lot. Is the James testimonial? I'm not sure about that one, John. I'll get back to you on that though, but I'm sure if you check the Celtic site, you'll be able to find that out. Getting back to Rodgers buying, I think we need to, he has said we need to get this sort of deadwood off the squad, players that aren't going to make it. And I mean, there's the players that we just mentioned. I mean, you've got your Mikey Johnson. You know, he's not going to do anything this season. Ajeti, he needs off it. You need James McCarthy. We need rid of him as well. The other ones that I mentioned are, well, Tony Ralston, he's okay, but he's injured. Sorrow, we need shot of him, Sorrow. You know, there's a few players out there that are just not good enough. Scott Bain been given that 3-year contract. Totally amazes me why they did that, but it has to be just to have a certain quota. And he's obviously happy being third. You've got to remember that we do have players to come back. You've got your Cameron Carter-Vickers to come back, and you've got Alistair Johnson. So when you look at the quality that's to come back in the team, I think as a squad, we have to trim down, but as a group, a bad as a good answer. I'm going to jump. But there's loads of comments. Trying to keep up with the comments. Reports suggests may have only proposed again and cancel it would create such a bad luck. Top quality signings, says Liam. Is that the signings that we've brought in? Are they top quality? You tell me. I think there's one that's maybe top quality, and that's the defender that we're bringing in next week. But other than that, the other players, we don't know enough about them. But it's the exact same could be said about Kyogo. The exact same could be said about Hatate, you know, and Abada. They were all brought in at a young age, and they're absolutely fantastic players. So let's get them in the door this week, the players. Let's get them playing in a couple of friendlies to see what they're at. They'll obviously train with the players this week. There'll be 3 new additions to the squad this week. There are plenty of tickets for Paul Baird says, I think there are plenty of tickets for James's testimonial. I think that I feel sorry for James because playing it on a Tuesday night is, and especially at that time of night, usually testimonials are a Sunday afternoon or a Saturday afternoon. I mean, it's unfortunate that we've got, well, we're meant to be in South Korea or not, but that got cancelled. It's a shame because you would want to see a full house for James. He does deserve it. He's been at Celtic a lot of years, and you've got to remember he was just a young lad when he came through the system. And the fact that he's stuck with the club and he's scored, you've got to remember as well, James Forrest has scored some amount of cracking goals for us. You know, he comes off that wing and then he takes a shot from outside the box. How many times has he done that? I mean, he would run past players. So, you know, hats off to Jamesy Forrest. It's a charity game. And why people aren't turning out, you know, it can only come down to the fact that Celtic got the timing all wrong. They're obviously wanting to make as much of the squad. I think what they should have done, they should have had the game in Dublin on the Saturday and then the testimonial for James on the Sunday. And the testimonial didn't have to be first-team players. You know, it didn't have to be first-team players. They could have brought in a special 11, a James Forrest 11 of all the best players that he's played with. That would have been a cracking match because he's played with some players over the year. Some of them might not be able to kick a ball as good now, for the fact that he's been at the club so long. But yeah, he's played with some amount of players, and yeah, we should be promoting his testimonial more. I think the club should. Well, I don't think it's down to the club to do it. I think it's the. I don't know. Ask John Paul Taylor that on Twitter. Question: do we finish the season poor again, even if we win another treble? And Martin. Will Brendan Rodgers be known as a lucky man? Will he be known as a lucky man this season because the man who spends the most in the season wins the league? Anyway, that was a lot of nonsense last year, wasn't it? And my family are going, says Colin Stewart. Good for that, Colin. Good that they're all going. That'll be a good occasion for them. Testimonials are always family friendly. They're always great. Let me see. JJ has just entered the building. I think it was an inspired decision to make our only home pre-season game just a few days before Flag Day. It'll set the players up for competitive action. I think this pre-season was all about making money. I think it was all about making money, and it was about the global brand Celtic FC. And getting, I mean, you've seen how many of the Japanese, you've seen the pictures of the pop-up shop that Celtic had and the amount of them the amount of their fans that had Celtic top, growing the brand Celtic Football Club in that part of the world will be enormous for us for years to come. Yes, we can thank Ange Postecoglou for that, but I think it was all about making money, selling shirts, and you've got to remember the revenue that we're getting from those games in Japan would be absolutely phenomenal. The money that we got for the tour of Australia was more than we got for winning the league in Scotland. So when you put it into perspective like that, we've got to take it on the chin. Man United fans, Arsenal fans, all these big teams go all around the world to play games. Barcelona do it, Real Madrid do it. In Spain, the cup final in Spain was actually played in Saudi Arabia. It wasn't even played in Spain. So that's when you start looking at football now, it is more a global market. So we have to jump on the boat as soon as we can, because if we don't, we're going to get left behind even further in terms of finances. Right, let's catch up with some more comments. That's why Kyogo went to Japan. Yes, it was, Chilpil. It was all about selling shirts, and that's it. Definitely, yeah. Jay says definitely amazing. The money. Say next year we should do the USA and Canada. I think we've done USA and Canada ones before. And to be fair, it's a market that we've already got our foot in. I think we need to be into these emerging markets, and the money that comes from the emerging markets is generally more. Because let's face it, Americans don't watch soccer. They watch that stupid game with the round ball and the shoulder pads. Shame I don't live closer. We're going to it. Says Martin, the guy's a legend. Only 3 players at the club got the 100 club. That is very true. James Forrest, he deserves everything that he gets from Celtic. He should. He's going to go down in history as one of the Celtic greats. And years to come, he's going to be going around your CSCs and he's going to be talking, but he might not, because he's not really into social media and all that stuff. Anyway, Middle East next year, says Martin. I've dropped my gut. Lovely. Kevin says, hail, guys. It was brilliant, the Japanese fans, says Liam. It was brilliant to see the Japanese fan wearing the hoop stop. Brilliant atmosphere yesterday. You can always hear Celtic fans. And that's the thing. Let's go to Saudi. That would be an interesting one. And you can't, because you've got to play in the middle of the night in Saudi, and it just knacking them up. We have to strike the Asian markets, the popular layer in these. Yes, that is why you're hitting those markets, and they're absolutely mad for football. You go to America, you go to Canada, they're more into their American football. We hit the markets where football is such a big thing. Right, let's get on to this story from Kenny Dalglish. Kenny Dalglish has been speaking about the players that have came into the club already. Sorry, Marco. We've known that Marco's injured. Odin, home, he come in, and then you've got the 2 South Korean lads come in, and then we've got the defender that's coming in next week also. But Kenny Dalglish reckons that even after selling, we've lost a bit of showmanship when we lost Jota. And Dalglish expects at least a couple of big recruitment push for 2 big players before the end of the window. Brendan will know what he needs, and Kenny Dalglish says, he basically goes on, he's talking about Joe Hart there. Joe Hart. He says, the 2 new players from South Korea, they're of promising pedigree. And says they show the same kind of standards, such as Kyogo, Rio Otaki, and Dyson Maeda. Brendan will be thrilled with his squad. And then Kenny Dalglish went on to say that he thinks that Celtic will add at least 2 more top quality operators before the transfer window closes. Now, when somebody like Kenny Dalglish comes out and talks about it, he's got links in Liverpool. Has been suggested that we might be after a Liverpool player. And does he know that something like that might be going on in the background? You don't know. And talking about stadiums, right? What's this one? Saudi stadiums come with stones under your seat. Jesus, that's bad. That's bad. Anyway, talking about stadiums, we're also at the Bernabeu last year, and it'll probably be the last time to see the Bernabeu the way that it stands. They are going to completely redevelop the stadium, and it's going to have a closing roof and everything. And also Barcelona have just knocked down their stadium, and they are in the process. They're going to be playing like Celtic did when we played away from Celtic Park for a year. Barcelona are going to be playing away from the new camp. Also, it is a good one from Martin, because what Kenny has got to say, hasn't got a clue. Never getting a Liverpool player due to wages. See what more, left winger and another defender and a goalkeeper. Tots, there's a goalkeeper coming in tomorrow. No, a goalkeeper, a defender. Do you think we need another defender after spending £4.3 million? Well, we'll spend £2 million up front and then 2.3 in instalment next year. A goalkeeper. Goalkeeper is something that we've all been talking about. The fact that Barkas has left the building. He's now went on to pastures new. Joe Hart is what Joe Hart is. The big ones for me is the fact that we've got a keeper that's been there for years. Is he happy to stay in third position? He's just been given a 3-year deal. And then you've got Benji. You've got Benji who come in and got some time. Now, we took 3 keepers to Japan and only 2 of them got any time on the pitch, which was a bit of a surprise to me. Just give me a minute till I get a drink. Right, let's get what Sean says. Get some more comments. There's a topic that annoys me. The fact that we pushed Palatinian fans, Celtic fans, but there's a legit question asked that is ignored. So the person who typed it, the message needs to be answered. Sean, I have no idea what you're talking about. And we all know the reason that Palestinian flags are waved at Celtic Park. It's because we're a club open to all. And that's my mother. Right, get off. So yeah, we need a left back cover, says Chow Phil. Goalkeeper, please. Bain is carrying a knock. Seriously? Is that why he didn't get any game time? Right, so it's pre-season, and how did he get a knock? Lifting a cup of coffee. Jesus. Anyway, let's get on to some more comments. Keep the comments coming in. Hail, hail, boys and girls from Murray. Boys buzzing for our beloved Glasgow Celtic coming to town at the weekend. Good sports before and after the match. James Connolly. Paddy Brown's perfect eye to his heat. Oh man, let's talk about Bain as Martin. Right, let me see what else is going on. So what do you think about Matt O'Reilly? Matt O'Reilly was obviously starstruck with the amount of Celtic fans, and I think it wasn't a surprise to him, but he was loving the fact that there were so many Celtic fans went out there. It was great to see so many of our fans that made the trip, and obviously there must have been a lot went over from Australia and places like that to get to see Celtic. And you know, the players, it just shows you how big a club and how big a fan base we are. I mean, I know I say it at the end of every video, a great day to Celtic fans all around the world, and I say that with a belief because I see the statistics on my YouTube channel, and I see the many countries around the world where people watch Celtic from. I watch this channel, so I can only imagine what Celtic's own stats look like, because they obviously get way more views than me, and you know, the club must be over the moon, and they'll be looking at that data also, and that will also have I can't wait to see what they're going to do with the social media side of it and Celtic TV. Pereira would have been a nice hail from, where's that one go? Oakley and Fife. There you go, James Gunn. Hail from Oakley. Bain broke his fingernail. You know, I was up for a good laugh on this channel. That's what I love about it. Right, we're only 29 minutes in. How come when I say I'm only going to do 15 minutes, right, and then we end up at 45 minutes and it flies in like this? I say I'm going to do an hour and it's like dragging in. Right, Bain hurt his back picking up the ball at the net in training. That wouldn't surprise me. Right, Green Leche. He says that Hymns game should have been the end of Bain. Yep, last season, yes, it should have. I honestly thought hail from Fife lad up the Celts. There's quite a few Fifers in town tonight. It's great to see. I think Bain should have been at the door. He's been at Celtic a long time. He made a couple of absolute cringeworthy moments in his career, you know, and he's been a good servant. But are you happy? Are you happy playing third fiddle or what? God, there's another one. Hail from Cowdenbeath. Hail from Kirkcaldy. Jesus. We've got to get that one up. Get the Cowdenbeath one up first. Hail John from Cowdenbeath. And then Hallie, hail from Kirkcaldy. I was there just last week. Anyway, James, he went on to say, I thought it was brilliant when Matt said that the rest of the team got peace, and that it was into the Japanese way. I think it was fantastic. I think, you know, when you want to think of Matt O'Reilly, it was only a couple of years ago that he was playing sort of low league football, and then he was at Fulham. He went to MK Dons, and he's had the chance to come to Celtic. Celtic, I've noticed that he went down there, and they've got him for an absolute steal. He is still young. There was some of his game where you're like, you know, Matt O'Reilly maybe gives the ball away too easily, things like that. But wait to see what happens. I think Brendan Rodgers will make him into a better player. Tama, do a 2-hour one. Not a chance. I might know what I was actually thinking. I came across the United Stand YouTube channel last night, and there was 27,000 people watching the live, and they were watching. He was obviously just commenting about the game. They were obviously all watching the game together, and then they're all talking about it. So, if that's something that you're up for, I might do that for James Forrest. Is James Forrest testimonial on Celtic TV? If it's on Celtic TV, no, because then the telly would be behind me. Let me think about that, because we might do a live during the game for James Forrest, and then any money that's made off that live, we'll give it to the Celtic charity at the end of the month once we know what it's made. So yeah, that'll be a good one. But yeah, if you're into that type of thing, I think it's something that I might do if I'm not down at the pub. Right, let's get back to the greetings from Cole Clare. Hail, hail. And I'm not going to choose it as one. We're back to that country. Let's get back to Sean, because he was talking about Palace. I'm not making a situation. I'm asking why we don't keep pushing that market, because we back that country. If you're talking about Palestine, I think it'd be hard to push anything in the Palestine market, because the Israelis have got everything kind of tied up and don't let anything in, do they? Hail, hail from the son of Bournemouth Beach. Wow. Nice to see you on the live. That is 535 on. How many thumbs up have we got? Let me just go on here and check how many thumbs up we've got. Time flies when you're enjoying yourself, says Chow Phil. And that's not what I want, because I need to refresh the page. Live. I'll do that. Give me 2 seconds. Right. And get rid of that. 136 thumbs up. Let's get it up to the 200 thumbs up in the next 5 minutes. There's 540 people watching online. So we will be doing this every Sunday at 6 p.m. UK time, 7 o'clock here in Spain. And I'm going to try and do a couple of lives at the pub also after the games this season. See how many people are down at the pubs. Kyogo, the reason Kyogo has a problem with his shoulder is lifting all the trophies. Helen, you've just got the comment of the day on the channel. Can we pin the comment? Can we pin that? No, you can't. Star it. What does it do when you star the comment? We'll just see. No. Right. Anyway, let's have a look at. There's been 260 votes for the. Somebody give us. Somebody just go on yourself, Ewan boy. Thanks very much for that, for the super chat. Doing great, especially doing it solo. Have a pint on me. Thank you very much for that. And there's another one from John O'Neill. Also, thank you for that, John O'Neill. And absolutely fantastic supporting the channel in that way. Right, let's get back to the poll. Are you happy with the Celtic transfer so far? There is a poll in the chat box. It's now running at 57%. There's 268 votes. 57% say yes, and 43% say no. So the last time that I looked at an exit poll was probably something to do with the independence vote back in Scotland. And yeah, shame the way that went. But anyway, let's get back to Scout, for sake. Right, let me get. How come that didn't show up on StreamYard? There we go, the starred ones. Right, yes, that's perfect. Ewan boy, thank you for that. It was £10. And John O'Neill, thank you for the super sticker. Helen Mack have also starred yours just for the comment of the day. So it's much appreciated. And yes, it is something else doing these yourself, and especially for an hour. But anyway, hail to everyone. Says you'll never walk alone. Where is that? Just get that one up. So yes, love it. Says Nice one, Helen. That was an absolute cracker. Let me see this one. Hi for sunny for once. Fort William. Fort William's a lovely part of the country. Says can pull up a start at 11. ISIS can pull up a start at 11, I'm sure. Oh my goodness. There's another one, another £10. Having a laugh too. Thank you for that. Got to get that one up. I'm going to start putting these ones up actually. Having a laugh too. San Fran Celtic for the $10. Thank you for this is amazing tonight. I'm actually loving this. We'll get these ones up and we're going to show them. John O'Neill, thank you for your £5 super sticker. And then Ewan Boy, thank you for your £10. Yeah, I'll have a pint. I'll definitely have a pint on you, and I'll actually take a poster and I'll take a photograph for these pints. And I will. Talking about pints, I need to talk about this, right? So I was at Edinburgh Airport a couple of days ago, and I got a roll and sausage and a pint, and it was 14 quid. And I was like, seriously, a roll and square sausage, a roll and sliced sausage, and a pint, and it was 14 quid. And I was like, what is going on? I could get a meal. I could get a 3-course meal for that back here. Menus del dia. Anyway, move on for that. Let's get back to the comments and see what is going on in the comments. Right. Let me just see. There's another one from Kirkcaldy. There's a few. Hi, Lee. There's a few from Kirkcaldy in tonight. 1888. Scotland's built by immigrants. Proud of being Scottish and not British. Yes. We are all full. Scotland is full of immigrants, and it's a fantastic place, and I love my country. But I also love the sunshine when it comes out here in Spain, but it doesn't just now. And some other comments. Let's see. Hill Troops, amazing work done by a man. Remember, folks, hit the like button. Yes. I'm going to plan on doing, as the season goes on, I think the best way to grow the channel even more is by doing a lot more lives. We'll still do the Celtic news in the morning as normal. I know a lot of people like to get that Celtic news first thing in the morning, but it's great to have the interaction with Celtic fans. And we know that there's not going to be many, as I used to say in Logelly, back in your grands there you go. I know that there's not many. What was it talking about? What was it talking about? I'm reading comments. And it's quite noise to her. Anyway, right. Hopefully. Pint. Aye, the noise price of a pint. Anyway, 18. What? 18 quid for a Big Mac at the airport in Turkey. Oh, I don't even get it. See the price of Big Macs and everything. See the price of McDonald's in here in Spain. It's ridiculous. Right, there's a heat wave in Kirkcaldy. Wayne Slingish yourself, man. At 18 degrees. Was that? Hail from Clyde Bank. Right, let me see if there's any other Celtic news coming about just now. Obviously, there's nothing really coming about. Everything's talking about Matt O'Reilly and how ecstatic he was. How do you feel that the Celtic media team, this is going to be an interesting one. It's 15 degrees and raining. You're nonsense talking. God almighty. It's raining in Kirkcaldy right now. I'm choking for it. Oh my God. It's still got the heating on. I'm sitting with a fan on here. I'll show you. And then I've got the air conditioner on round the corner. So, yeah. Right. And no, that's what I was talking about. Lives. Right. Get back on with it. See, this is what happens when we do our shows. We lose track of what's going on. Yes. Right. So we're going to still be doing the Celtic news stories in the morning because we know how you like them. And we're going to be doing more lives in the evening, purely for the fact that a lot of people know that I changed the channel back in the December last year, and you got my happy face on it. And it's always about making the channel better and giving Celtic fans a medium where that we can all talk together. You're not going to get any Rangers fans because if they do comment on this, you know that they've subscribed to the channel, so that way we know it's kind of zombie free. It's what was that? You start donation money to buy a new fan. She just says that to the left arm. It's dirty. I told you to clean it when I was saying. She's just giving me the middle finger. It's pushing down family up there, Malky. Right, let's get. Never got one pushing down here in Dublin. It's actually cloudy here. It's not raining, but it's just cloudy. It is 30 degrees outside though, and everyone's walking about with shorts and t-shirt. Anyway, right, cheap food and airport. What's this? Is this going off track again? We tend to lose like viewers when there's cheap flights and McDonald's. Right, let's get back. Let's get back to Celtic talking. Right, look at the boys from the Bar Club CSC to sub perfectly. Get as many people as possible. Right, let me do a live check and see where the subscriber count is, because we're doing really well. And you got to remember, it was only just at the end of the season where we got to the big 10,000, and that was a momentous moment for us. Well, for me on the channel, for us as Celtic Sports, because the channel, it is the one Celtic fans view. It's about your view. You know, you get this is why the channel is named this. It's about giving the Celtic fans their view and not having to listen to nonsense talk on certain radio stations. Right, we are at 11,977 as it stands just now. We are getting close to the 12,000. So if you haven't subscribed and you're watching this, you have to subscribe to be able to comment, first of all. And I want to get to that 12,000. We'll have a target set for next season, but we'll see if we can reach that. But I think if we just keep on doing what we're doing, the way they're doing on the channel, I think subscribers will take care of itself. I don't go by this whole sub thing because it's just a number, but it is fantastic to have them. Is there any big news signings this week? Celtic will push at the fact that there was the signings that we're going to bring in is the two from South Korea and the defender, and then you've got to also remember that Wata has signed full-term contract with us also. Got to remember, he was just on loan. 22 degrees in Northampton. We need a new keeper, says Stephen. Yes, we do. We've all been speaking about that, and we've always been speaking about the fact that 548 account, it must be YouTube. Right, so I'm going back to, there's 306 votes now, 307 votes on are you happy with the transfer window so far. Let's try and see if we can get it up to 500 votes. So get all your friends to vote on it. We're at 309. Get as many votes as we can, because at this rate, we're sitting at 57% for yes, 43% for no, they're not happy. And let's get back to StreamYard so I can get the live comments. Can you buy Buckfast here, Ewan boy? Where did I see Buckfast a bit ago? Yeah. There is a shop that had it in. Which one was it? Was it not the one down at Playa Flamenca? Was it not the supermarket, the wee supermarket down at Playa Flamenca? It's F in Melton in Portugal. Is that Borders boy is in town? Will Scales be a regular? Well, I don't think he'll be a regular. He'll be a squad player. I think it all depends whether Celtic want him to progress this season. You can put him out to Aberdeen again on loan. I think Aberdeen actually want to buy him. I think it'll be good for him to get regular game time. Keeping him at Celtic and not giving him game time would be a hindrance to his career. And I think if we can get Scales as much game time as possible, he will eventually be a good player for us. But the fact that we've just bought in a £4 million defender tends to say to you that, you know, he's not going to get his chance. He's not got a chance. I live 50 miles and can't buy Bucky. She's after your money, Buzz. No, she's all right that way. Right, let's get some more comments. One I haven't seen before. Right, James, nice to have you on the channel, James. 550. Let's see if we can get up to 600 people on the live. Regarding keep, I think Celtic's Master Chip not saying it. I think that as well. The money that we had spending £8 million on a keeper could have been sold for double that. I think we really needed. You've got to remember, he was about the number 2 keeper in the world. He had a fantastic World Cup. We need to be thinking long term as a club. And I know it's hard to think long term, especially with the business model that Celtic has. You know, bringing players in and then selling them on in 2 years. I mean, it was a fantastic deal. The turnaround and having Jota, getting him on loan for the first year, and then buying him, and then a year later selling him for 25 million was a fantastic deal. Do you know what I mean? If you've got hats off to Nicholson. I can buy Buckfast and Iron Brew in Barrow and Furness and Cumbria. I can get Iron Brew here too. Amazing that. Let me see. Scales again. I'd like to see Scales get a few more games before the start of the season. Who's he going to keep at the team? This is the only question that I've got. You've got to remember, we've got a good few players that are injured just now. So long term, I think he's just going to be a squad player. He'll hail from Murray, boy originally from Motherwell, escaped to Dublin area 25 years ago. Bring on Saturday. Scott Howie says, it's the first time on this channel, went live with some comments. No, Scott, is this the first time this channel went live with some? No, we've done it before, but we're going to be doing it again on a regular basis. It's called the One Celtic Fans View, and I want to get as many Celtic fans view. I want to grow this community so that Celtic fans can have their say without the nonsense of Scottish media and interruption zombies. They can comment on the video after if they want, but you have to be able to. So you have to subscribe to be able to comment, and that way, you know, you're not going to get many zombies coming on, because if they do, they subscribe. Let's need a hammer thrower. Let's get this one. Stuart, welcome to the channel, Stuart. After 3 potential signings this week, do you think there will be a big one before the window closes? Yes. The wee shot and play flamenco. That's what sales it's here. the wee shop and play flamenco, does it? What shop? The supermarket. No, the wee news agents. Does that sell it? It'll be frozen anyway. Yeah, okay. No, you just go up to the butchers Casadaway. Go to the butchers there. You'll get. I don't know if they're doing sliced sausage, square sausage just now. Anyway, back to the Celtic news. Laurel looked good at the game. He is a player for the future. We need to keep him at all cost. He is just a young guy. I think in a few years' time, if we bulk him up, he is going to be fantastic. He's going to be a fantastic addition to the squad, and he could be a potential replacement for Cameron Carter-Vickers in a few years' time. Must do much better with the transfer report, says J.I. That's an interesting one. Whoever said yes, that's the thing. Nah, I'm not vaxxed actually. So there, I'll put it out there. No, I'm not. I skipped through the system because I moved in 2020. So I was in limbo, which was good. Yeah, we all had a choice. We had a choice. So no, I have clean blood, as I say. I'll probably loads of fucking loads will go mental for that. You can get red cola and Iron Brew, not just Bucky. Right, let's get back to the sentence. Jerry says we need a keeper that can hold the ball without it rebounding. Yes, this is very true. We need a keeper that when a ball comes in and he makes a dive for it, they've got these gloves that are massive and they're like big sticky Velcro pads, and they can't keep a hold of the ball. What is it? Dog's talking to me. And they can't keep a hold of the ball. I mean, I don't know. Joe Hart is one of the worst at trying to push a ball away, but he's done that his whole career. That's the way he's played his whole career. So he's done quite good. Keep it up, Baz. Quality chat. Yeah, I'm going to keep this up as much as we can, John. As I said, it is a thing that we're going to be doing more and more during the season. It might even go to a nightly thing. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm getting glared at. No chance it'll be nightly. No, we need to have at least a bit of life at night. It's nice and warm outside. Once it comes to winter time and it starts getting dark at about 6:30. And then I'll be up for it during the winter. During the winter, I'll probably do lives every night from 7 o'clock because it's dark here. It gets dark about 6:30. So, and then it's cold at night. So, yeah, probably do that. And the keeper went to Fenerbahce. I think he has went to Fenerbahce. I think we totally missed a trick with that one. Scott says, hail, subscribed to you for a little while, but it's the first time I saw you live for some reason. Keep an eye out on the channel, Scott. I'll keep on putting it up in the community tab. Remember, the community tab is sort of big on this channel. We have shits and giggles and we rip the odd bit of banter about the Sevco. But we will be doing this a lot more. We'll definitely be doing it every Sunday. What?
Somebody said, is his wife a Sevco?
Is this? No, she's not.
Oh my God.
No, she's not.
I've never been so insulted.
She's sitting here with a green top on, by the way. So no, she's not. Love it. Let's go. The next one. You have to do a live stream from Celtic Bar if you go there. Yes. The problem with doing a live from Celtic Bars is music, and you get copyrighted. And we've already had a little copyright strike from YouTube because of that. So it's one of the things that you need to watch out for. So yeah, it's kind of hard to do. It'd be good to do one from. I can definitely do one from the Hoops Bar in Guardamara. They've no issue with that. I did one with Jackie McNamara Senior, or was it just a video? I can't remember. But no, if we can get enough people up to the Hoops Bar, we'll do one there. I'm probably going to go up to Alicante again and go up to the bar in Alicante, see the guys up there, see if they'll be interested in doing one also. There's not so much music there. But when it comes to Paddy's Point, it is the busiest Celtic bar. But as soon as the game is finished, they put on tunes and you'll get copyrighted for it all day long, unfortunately. Let's see what some of the comments say. Rita Sue Bob channels from the 1980s. What? Kimmy's are talking about it. I don't care about a big signing, just a good goalkeeper. It's paramount that we get a good goalkeeper in. We've all said that. We're not saying that Joe Hart's is not a bad goalkeeper, but when you're looking, you don't want him to go down the same route as McGregor went, and he was just awful, and he's losing too many goals for Sevco. I think Joe Hart will know when his time's up. I think if Celtic can get Joe Hart onto the coaching squad at Celtic, I think he'll do absolutely fantastic. I think if we can keep Joe Hart in Celtic, if we can keep him on the coaching staff, he'll do fantastic for us. And he loves the club. He loves the fact that he's been given this opportunity at this stage of his career to still play at the level he's playing at. He's still playing at Champions League football last year. You know, he thought his time in Champions League was done and dusted. And the fact that he got that chance to come to Celtic and play Champions League, and that's why he loves us so much. Do you know what I mean? And he has a right affiliation for the club now. You would like to hope that continues in some format. Outdid by us in Celtic clubs, Scottish. I'm going to show you all the shirts that I've got. Going way back to the 90s, and I might hang them up somewhere in the background. One of the next videos. What's the comment saying? No, she's sitting giggling. She's sitting giggling at the comments.
Is your secretary Scottish pass?
Yes, she is. She's for Fife as well. That's right. She's not the secretary. Trust me, she's not the secretary. Tilo, a Maloney Mark II. We can't really say anything about Tilo until we see him play. Hopefully, he's a Maloney Mark II. I need a drink on that. Hopefully, he's a Maloney Mark II. Maloney was good at his time at Celtic. Lowell's already a bulk machine. I think he can be a bit bigger. I think he could be Bobo Boldy size and really bully people. JJ, I really think he can. I think he could be an absolutely fantastic player for us. I think he'd be a top level £20 million player. And that's saying that just seeing him at this age. You remember I said the same about Callum McGregor. When Callum McGregor had his first games at Celtic under Ronnie Dyler, I said listen, Callum McGregor is going to be your future captain. And there was guys in their bus that rubbished it and said, nah, not a chance. And then, well, here he is now. He is Celtic captain. And let's get some more comments. Boys and girls, enjoy the rest of your day. Keep up the good vibes. Much love, Celtic fans all around the world. Hail. Says Sean. Thanks for watching, Sean. We are down to 567. That's a fantastic amount of folk that's been on. Let's jump over and get the poll before we finish. And there's been 364 votes. We're still sitting at 57% for yes and 43% no. I wish that had been the independence fucking vote. Anyway, anyone see Joe Hart coaching young keepers last week? Yes, I did. And Sean, that's one of the reasons that I'm saying that. That's one of the reasons that I'm saying that Joe Hart done absolutely fantastic coaching the young guys. I think it's something that it's his next step in his career. He knows that he's going to be a cracking goalkeeper coach. And you've got to think of the experience that he's had as well, remember. I mean, it's not 75 games for England. There's World Cups. There's Champions League football. When you've got somebody that experience, it would be a tragedy to let them go. A complete tragedy to let them go from the coaching staff. If you ask me, would would be happy with taking up a coaching role in Scotland, or would you like to move back down south? I don't know. I love the pies to the Fife area. Stuart's the Bakers. Oh my goodness, Stuart's the Bakers. Are they still open? They're shut down. They're still open. It's Baines that closed, wasn't it? Baines shut down. Baines the Bakers shut down. Hart couldn't catch a cold, says Scott. Well, neither could Bain, but Bain's got an injury. So we have 4 minutes left. We've done it. We've done our first hour live. This will be a regular thing on a Sunday. Thank you to every single person that has commented so far. We have got 4 minutes left. Let's see how many thumbs. What? No, not at all. I need to get off. Right, let me see. That's not that live. No. Tinto di Verano. It's red wine with it's like sangria, but it's what the Spanish drink. Spanish don't drink sangria, so they drink a different sighting. Any sightings how we've got to go. Right, cheery, Baz, hail. There's still 3 minutes to go. Didn't be going yet, Stuart. You know, people are starting to drop off already. Barkas couldn't catch COVID. Well, he caught a flight out of Scotland, so that was good enough. 300 as a massive amount. Thanks for that, Paul. Is that the number of thumbs up? And Baz, like the door and go for another half hour. Not a chance. No, we will be doing these more regular because it's been fantastic, and it's good to get the Celtic community, the Celtic family, as it's called, here till the end. Lock says, lock the door. Lock the door. Pat, big hail from Wexford, Ireland. Good fun. Good to meet you, Pat. Good to meet you. Good to have you in. 3 minutes plus injury time. 3 minutes plus injury time. They keep on going. Right, let me have a quick glance at. There's nothing else. There's nothing else Celtic news-wise coming up. They're not expected because Celtic are actually travelling back. We have 372 votes on. It's went down. Controversial. 381. The votes are coming in. It's at 381 votes. We are at 56% for yes. For are you happy with the transfer window? 44% for no. At 381 votes at the end of the live. If you have watched this live and you're watching it on replay, put in hashtag replay in the comments underneath the video, because you won't be able to comment on this section here, which is the live comment section. If you want to comment on the live comment section in the next video, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and get the notifications. Let's just see where we are subscribers wise. Oh, you dancer. 11,991. This evening, if it keeps on going, we will hit the 12,000 mark. Well done to every single one of you that have subscribed. I am absolutely honoured to hit this. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And it shows you that if you subscribe to the channel, you might get your comments up here live. We will be doing the comment section down the side every live. Anyone in Dublin next weekend, give Sean a shout. Stay on for the 12. For the 12 in a row. Congratulations. Well done to you, Baz. Well, let's just do an update again. And there we are. I think down to 8. Let's just get this bit on. See that? There we go. 11,992 subscribers. Can we stay on until we get the 12? Stay on to get the 12,000. That's what it was. 93. Right, if you haven't subscribed and you're watching, subscribe so that we can hit the 12,000 subscribers live. Going to do this live. See if I've got to stay on for another half an hour till we get 7 subscribers. Right? You're going to have to walk past the camera then. She's like, I'm not going to camera for nobody. Not going to camera for nobody. Stay alive till you hit the 12. We're 7 away. We are dropping viewers now. We're down to 499 viewers. We've done the hour mark. Come on, let's get it. Great show. Love it. JJ, he is laughing. We are 7. It's not going to do it. Wait a minute. We have just had an update. We need 4 subscribers. 4 subscribers. Come on. If you're watching this live, get the phone. My missus went out to get me a carry out for this pass.
She's a keeper.
Right, she's a keeper. Oh, I've got to tell you, right? See, when we're during lockdown, and when Celtic got told that they were obviously winning a prize for the 12th, right? Yes, 12,000, a prize for the 12,000 subs. Yeah, I'll give them a free T-shirt. Right, hurry up, I'm at work. 98, 99. Oh my God, look. Right. We need it. Ah, we've done it. We've done it. The dog's like, we've done it. We've done it live. We have done it. Like, we have done it. 12,000 subscribers. And the dog's going mad. The dog's wondering, well, no, you can't come on. We've done it. Yes. Oh, magic. Absolutely magic. Thank you very much to everyone. Oh, we've done it even more. You had beauty. This is absolutely fantastic. Oh, boom. Thank you so much to everyone. This has been absolutely amazing to have done that on a live video. It's been absolutely brilliant. Over the bloody moon with that. So for the people that dropped off before the end of the video, you missed out on probably the best part of the hour. Cheers for that, Paul. Well done. I'm absolutely, honestly, that was just so good. Congratulations. Let's get as many of these comments up. Wow, it's Whoopi. It's Whoopi the Hound. Congratulations. Back of the net, Larson style. That was absolutely brilliant. Let's do just an upgrade just to see what it's at. And we're at 12,010 now. So it's just kept on going. Right, we're going to keep on doing lives. We're going to do another live. I might do one Monday evening. And no, when is the game? When is the game? It's Wednesday, isn't it? When's the game this week? Wednesday night, is it? Let me just double check. Right, so what we'll do, no, it's Tuesday. The Tuesday game for James Forrest. That's a week on Tuesday. So we're going to do another live every Sunday. I'm doing our live. What's that? Congratulations. We never stop. Congratulations. Lots of congratulations coming in. Yeah. So we're going to keep on doing these lives. I think it's fantastic to have everyone else in the show, get as many comments up as possible. And I'm just totally taken aback. I can't believe that happened. My goodness, I've lost my voice and everything nearly. Let's do an update before. That's still at 12,010. So thank you to everyone. Let me just went away the wrong way. 12,010 subscribers. We did it live. We did it your way. Thank you to everyone. Let's wrap this for it. It's like you've won the lottery. It is, honestly. It's fantastic. 20k by next Sunday. I think if we even get to 15k before December, I'll be over the moon. But the way that the channel's going, and if the way that we keep on doing these lives, I think it will take the channel to the next level. Listen, the channel is nothing without every single one of you that comment, every single one of you that give it a thumbs up. The channel is nothing without you. If you don't watch it, the channel doesn't grow. So with that being said, seriously, the season is about to begin. We're going to be doing lives from, hopefully, if we don't do lives from the pub, I might do, because there's some right characters down at Paddy's Point, and if we can get a wee quiet bit at the back of the pub, we usually get some of them that will come and give us a chat. I'll definitely be going up to Hoops Bar again in Guardamar. We'll go up to Hoops Bar and do a live during the season, and then up to Alicante. I'm not sure if I'd go back to Benidorm. I don't think I'd go back to Benidorm. Far too many of that mob go there. I've known for ages. Tarmac, thank you for that. Best channel ever. It's not the best channel ever. There's lots of Celtic channels out there that are a lot bigger than me, and they put out a lot of fantastic content. And there's a lot of new colours to the scene. But what I want to do is I want to make sure that this channel is all about you. It's all about the viewer. It's all about giving you your opportunity to have your say when it comes to Celtic, and not have to worry about outside interferences. Hun scalping. bear baiting season again. That is going to be the last comment, because you know that this is the only channel that does that on a regular basis. Yes, I will bait them. I don't care. It is all about football banter. So on that note, let's wrap this up. Welcome to the channel. If you're brand new, thanks for subscribing. We'll do a little update, see if we've gained any more. 12,012 subscribers we have hit. Fantastic, right? Thank you, everyone. That's how it feels to be Celtic. Hail, love the job we do. Pull up to the party. Pull up to the party. Yes, fantastic. 12,000. My God. Right, I'm going to have a beer just to celebrate. And we've done over the hour. We will be doing an hour every Sunday, so make sure you subscribe for that. I will put it up. We will do lives during the week, so make sure that you watch the community tab, and then I'll also put up a notification that I'll make sure that it's well in advance. But looking at it, it's probably going to be around about the same time at night, 6 o'clock for you in the UK. Any later than that, and there's every chance I'll be having a drink, and I don't want to do that on YouTube. So let's get some last comments before, and then wait a minute, I've got something new. And if you've left the channel already, you'll have missed this one. Papa Francesco. Let's get back to the comments. Is that music coming through? God bless you, mate. Keep smiling, Baz. That's for a beer. That's for a bag of cans. We've got a bag of cans in the fridge. Well done, Proud Boys. Same every year. Keep us waiting. Well done. It says Aaron, come on, you boys in green. You will get no. In fact, Aaron, you will get the last. God, the comments are still flying in. Papa and Francesco beer. There we go. That's the last one. I'm coming. You see that parachute? Right, there she goes. Right. 1 hour and 7 minutes. Thank you very much. What a community, Sean, exactly. What a community. I absolutely love this. When you move away from Scotland and you used to go to the games, I mean, people say, I mean, I used to go to games home and away, and then it was Danny Glasswell, big Danny Glasswell from the Joseph Rafferty bus. He said if anybody that he expected to move away and from stop going to games would be me. 67 minutes. 67. Papa Francesco still playing. That's a good thing. Right, anyway, no, but even Big Danny says for me to move away and stop going to games as much as I did, it was hard, and that was one of the hardest things. And this gives me that little touch with being in touch with Celtic and the fans. And I've still got a seat at Celtic Park that I can use, my brothers. So anyway, and I hope to get back to a game this season, and even a Champions League away game this year. Anyway, Interpol's after you. Interpol's not after me. They're after you. They're after you, mate. They're after you. Right, anyway, the Joseph Rafferty. Yes, from the White Heather bus for you. They don't run for the White Heather anymore, but no, it's a cracking bus. I was a bus convener on there for a good few years. 2013, was it? 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017. Anyway, yeah. He's a criminal. Yeah, I'm a criminal. Hard work pays off. 67 in the back of the net. 12,000 subscribers. Have a great evening, Celtic fans all around the world.